Inside a crowded high school classroom, 18-year-old Veer is completely deaf to the noise around him. He is hyper-focused on a single point in the room, his classmate, Priya, watching her with the intensity of a cinematic protagonist. His heart is hammering against his ribs. He's gripping his desk so hard his knuckles are turning white, bracing himself to leap out of his seat and execute the grand gesture he's been rehearsing. He finally stands, pulls a bright red rose and a pink card from his bag, and marches up to Priya's desk. The entire classroom immediately goes dead silent, watching the spectacle unfold. He holds out the flower and confesses his love. Priya stares at him, shoves him back, and hisses through gritted teeth for him to look behind him. Veer uses these intense romantic fantasies as a shield. By focusing entirely on a scripted daydream, he can momentarily ignore the mounting problems of his actual life. Standing directly behind Veer is the massive, intimidating frame of his math teacher, whose roaring voice shatters the silence. The teacher slams a performance report onto the desk. The catastrophic failing grade in math is now the only thing in Veer's field of vision, as the teacher demands a parent's signature by morning. The entire class erupts into loud laughter, but the only laugh Veer actually hears, the one that cuts through everything else, is Priya's. Publicly humiliated, Veer grabs his things and flees the classroom to escape the mocking stares of his peers. The academic decline is a recent development. His grades began to plummet exactly 1 year ago, following the day his father was murdered by business rivals. Every equation on that report card is a reminder of the life Veer had before the murder. He is sprinting away from his studies because they are the clearest link to a reality he isn't ready to face. The moment Veer walks through his front door, his mother fires off a suspicious interrogation. He's home early, and she immediately senses something is wrong. Veer pivots instantly into an improvised lie. He claims his math teacher was attacked by goons and needs a signed character certificate from parents to convince the school to let him keep his job. He leverages his mother's sympathy for the teacher to get the failing report card signed. She scribbles her name on the paper, never suspecting the academic disaster printed on the other side. Relieved, Veer escapes into his bedroom. The space is a total disaster zone, filled with clutter and unfinished projects, a room he keeps strictly off-limits to the rest of the family. Having successfully navigated the confrontation with his mother, Veer tosses the signed paper aside. To him, the threat is neutralized, and he can return to the safety of his own world. Veer shoves in his earphones and cranks up heavy electronic music, using the high-decibel sound to drown out the rest of the house. Suddenly, the music glitches. His mobile phone falls to the floor, and a glowing blue holographic projection of an older scientist bursts out of the screen, scaling up to life-size in the middle of the room. The man is Dr. Khurana. He claims he owes his life to Veer's late father, and offers the boy a way out. He can teach Veer math or offer him a job at a secret laboratory. Before Veer can react, Khurana drops a staggering claim. Earth is not the only planet in the universe with life. The scope of the revelation is more than Veer's teenage world can hold. Veer reacts with pure, frantic rejection. He grabs the phone and hurls it directly into a bubbling fishbowl on his desk, killing the transmission instantly. As the bubbles stop and the screen goes dark, the room returns to its messy, familiar silence. The secrets of the universe and his father's legacy are now sitting at the bottom of a fishbowl. The next afternoon, Veer returns home from skipping a makeup exam to find a hostile, screaming match unfolding on his family's lawn. He realizes his mother knew about the failing grade all along. She had quietly handed him money that morning to pay for the exam, money he had already spent on movie tickets with his friends. His aunt and uncle are the ones shouting. They are demanding a payout of 3 crore rupees for their share of the property, threatening to force the sale of the family estate if they aren't paid. His mother and sister are completely helpless against the demand. They have no resources and no defense against the aggressive greed of their own relatives. Veer's friends are standing right there, watching his family's financial humiliation. The social embarrassment is overwhelming, stripping away his last layer of privacy. The corporate warfare that claimed his father's life has reached the front door. The family's survival is now an immediate physical threat. Driven by a sudden spike of protective rage, Veer steps between his mother and the relatives. He weaponizes his father's history, reminding them how his father saved their businesses from the Star Group, the very conflict that eventually killed him. Veer promises to pay the 3 crore rupees himself within exactly 6 months. The relatives leave, but the terrifying silence remains. The ticking 6-month clock and mathematical weight of that debt is now Veer's central reality. The adrenaline fades, leaving Veer in a state of internal panic. He has no money, no plan, and has just committed himself to an impossible financial deadline. Veer's reckless attempt to save his pride has created a debt he cannot pay through any normal means. His only path to survival is the very thing he just tried to drown: the extraordinary legacy of Dr. Khurana.